Alright, so this week I forwarded concerns regarding my experience dealing with American Family Care Urgent Care, that's AFC, in Birmingham, Alabama. I was a patient there in 2019. I had an x-ray taken. This was subcontracted, the reading, to Dr. Maria Echenique M.D. DABR through Experity. This was a telemedicine situation. The clinic where I had the x-ray taken physically, this was Parkway East, Roebuck, Birmingham, Alabama. I found out later on that I had broken the underside of my skull. I obtained my x-ray images and records from this $175 visit with American Family Care. In the x-ray picture, which Maria Echenique M.D. DABR told me in this report that no injuries appeared, I'll put the pictures up here, and you can see there's a 3-inch diameter translucent oval, an anomaly, and this is the result of the underside of my skull being broken and the infection and subsequent parasite worms and insects that grew in this area. When I tried to have this issue addressed by Experity, they were unresponsive, very difficult to deal with. They made obligations to me to return phone calls, to have management call me. My phone calls were never returned. They had me give permission to access these archival x-ray images via AFC with the express understanding that this x-ray was going to be reread and this error corrected because this is an extant error and this is not what I paid for. Okay, so after I gave permission to Experity to get the records from AFC, a few days later I found out by calling Experity that they were not going to help me in addressing this error and having this x-ray re-examined. Alright, this is a huge problem. If you're a patient with serious injuries, you pay money and you put your faith and trust in these medical practices. Alright, and there are doctors and nurses associated with this. Dr. Blake Thomas, M.D. His name appears as the supervisor to the nurse that I saw in Birmingham, Kimberly Kelly. So I tried to call Dr. Blake Thomas. His location is the Cahaba Village, American Family Care Urgent Care, Birmingham, Alabama, up there on Highway 280. When I called this office, I called 5 days in a row. The first couple days I talked to the office staff. They were cheerful, communicative. They told me that they'd have the doctor call me. Day after day after day, doctor never called me. And eventually on Friday I was hung up on by this office. I spoke with the office manager, and this is when I found out that American Family Care Urgent Care, their office staff, they all use nicknames, singular names, pseudonyms, and fake names. And this is not acceptable if you're a patient going to health professionals to seek treatment and you're paying hundreds of dollars. This is not acceptable business practice. And if this is the direction that America and healthcare in Alabama is going, we are in big trouble. And that goes for anybody that has injuries and pays money to doctors and nurses to have these issues looked at. The office manager of a doctor's office, this location that I'm talking about, he goes by a singular name. That's Sadler. Alright. The other AFC locations, they only know the manager of this location by this single name. Okay? And that's a huge problem. I mean, how do they even know who they're dealing with? And see, what happens is like in my case, you're a patient, you go in there and you have problems. When you go back into these places trying to get these problems addressed and resolved, you're dealing with people with fake names. Guess what? They can come back and say that nobody by that name works there, and you got absolutely nothing to go by. They got your money. You don't have anything. And that's what happened to me. This is unacceptable. I got this guy, Sadler. I got all of my calls and exchanges with American Family Care. They are recorded, and they can be listened to on my YouTube channel, My Medical Nightmare. You can hear exactly how they handle themselves, how they conduct business in the wrong way. This is America in 2022. It is unrecognizable from when I was a child in the 1980s. Okay? In the 1980s, places like American Family Care and Xperity, you'd hear about these stories operating somewhere like in Nigeria, in Africa or somewhere, or in a communist country or something like that. This is going on in Birmingham, Alabama today, and this has got to be addressed. This has got to be stopped. This office manager of this doctor's location where this Dr. Blake Thomas M.D. operates, he told me he would not give me his first and last name. Okay? So who is this guy? We don't know. These concerns I have sent to the Alabama Board of Medical Examiners and Licensure Commission this week, so they are aware of my experience with American Family Care, Urgent Care, AFC in Birmingham, Alabama. They know about this place now, and I'm doing this video to let everybody else know, and this needs to be remedied.